By means of all created things, without exception, the divine assails us, penetrates us, and molds us. We imagine it as distant, the divine, and inaccessible, when in fact we live steeped in its burning layers. We are steeped in the burning layers of all creation. And if we can practice as Francis practiced, then we begin to connect to ourselves by beginning to see that we are interconnected to everything else. And there's so much to explore about Francis. But what I want to offer are 3 tools, 3 things that were enigmatic to this marvelous and amazing character that so often we misunderstand. We often think of Francis as sort of the bird bath Francis, right? This guy that was beautiful and tall and elegant and with a trimmed beard and birds floating around him. That wasn't who he was. This was a man who let go of all the outside trappings and began to follow that inner voice within him. In fact, that's the first practice, to listen to that inner voice. One of the things that Francis said toward the end of his life is this: I followed my own inner guidance. He wasn't directed by the teachings of a church, a religion, of somebody else, but he took the authorship of his own life and followed that inner voice, as you and I are encouraged to do, that each of us is invited to listen to that still small voice and not outsource our authority and not let ourselves be an object on the marketplace, but to listen to that divine voice within. And the second thing that he offers us is this: not just to face our fear, but to embrace our fear. There's this wonderful story of Francis as he's coming back a broken man. He's coming back literally as a failure, as a military character. And on his way back home, he passes a leper. And of course, this is the Middle Ages, and he does what any person in the Middle Ages would do. He runs from the leper. He's afraid of the leper. But then he stops himself and he turns around and he runs back and he embraces the leper and asks for his forgiveness. So think about this. Think about the things that you are afraid of, that you may run from or avoid or deny, or any of the things that we do. But what Francis offers is to not do that, but to embrace our fear, to enter into dialogue with our fear, to ask it what it wants, and to enter into a new relationship with it. Because the things that we are afraid of, the things that we are avoiding, have a lesson to teach us. They want to bring us an experience of wholeness, but we want to run from them. But the second lesson that Francis offers us is to not run from the things that we're afraid of, but to embrace the things that we're afraid of. And the third and final thing in this talk that Francis offers us is to love, to listen, and to practice kindness with each distinct thing. It's so easy to say that we love humanity, or we love the planet, or we love whales, or we love this, or we love that. But for Francis, it wasn't the big picture, it was the individual thing. It was the leper, the brother, the friend, the animal, the bird, whatever it may be, is that became distinct. And so in many ways, it's the practice of curiosity to each and everything. Again, let's take this on as a practice, to listen to that inner voice, to embrace the things that we fear, and to be present to each and every distinct expression of the divine that we are, to allow ourselves the experience of amazement, of wonder, of awe, of reverence for each encounter of the divine that we see everywhere. And to no longer look and think to ourselves that even though this was within me, I was without myself. But rather, as I go into myself, I see that I am connected to every living being.